Hey guys, it's Craig Chick here with my Vikings Season 1 review and Q&A. Before we get into the Vikings, first I want to update on the show voting. So, we have a tie between Taboo and Stranger Things, and Black Sails is right behind. So what I'm going to do is take these three, and I want you to rank them first, second, and third in the comments, and that will finally decide what show I'm going to do. So once again, the shows are now going to be Taboo, Stranger Things, or Black Sails. Those were my top three, so if you could rank those 1, 2, and 3, we'll see what I do next. So, let's get right into Q&A. I will put your questions on the screen, read them, and then answer them to the best of my ability. So, here we go. First question is from Nicholas Vargas. He said, what do you think about the relationship between Athelstan and Ragnar? Okay, so the relationship between Athelstan and Ragnar, I thought it was developing very nicely. I really thought he was going to kind of slowly let him go and not be a slave anymore, but it doesn't seem like he's even going to do that. And Athelstan's religion was starting to crack there. He was talking to Jesus and saying, like, for the first time I'm angry with you and all this stuff. So I thought his religion was cracking and he might convert to the Viking way. But that has also been debunked for me, since everything they do, he has a disgusted face and holds his cross. So I think he's very strongly going to stick to the Christian religion, and I don't know how that's going to pan out with him and Ragnar. But their relationship has been greatly affected since Ragnar decided to make him a human sacrifice and he found out about it. So I'm very interested to see how their relationship pans out from that, because if someone did that to me, I would not be friends with them anymore. But once again, thank you, Nicholas, for your question. Okay, the next question is from Mel Lynch. Do you think Rollo will betray Ragnar, or do you think it's a trap for Jarl Borg? Sorry if I pronounced his name wrong. I do not think it's a trap at all. Rollo has proven himself as being a shady, sleazy guy, and he has this complex that he wants to be better than his brother, which has never happened in his life, it seems like, because he has a real issue with it. And although he did come through with the Earl in the earlier in the season, I believe he didn't think that was the right moment to betray Ragnar. I don't think he did it out of the kindness of his heart. I think he knew that he would get a better opportunity to betray him, and now I think the opportunity has come, and I think it's a complete betrayal. I think he's going to fight Ragnar. I don't think it's a trap whatsoever. Yeah, I don't like that guy at all. Thank you for your question, Mel. The next question comes from Just JD. This is a long one, so stick with me here. It's a very good question. What do you think Ragnar's state of mind will be now that he gained a son and lost a daughter? Will he see a connection between the two, perhaps being conflicted, blaming himself or the gods, or being happy nonetheless for he got what he wanted? Will it shake his faith in any way? What do you think Lagertha's view on all this will be, as in her husband sleeping around while their daughter died, and him gaining a son with another woman? How will this affect her character? The first part of this question, what do you think Ragnar's state of mind will be now that he's gained a son and lost a daughter? I strongly believe that he will be angry with the gods. His faith has been shaken a couple times, but I think he knows that he needs to keep his faith in Odin and all the other gods because he's Earl, and I think he will never turn his back on them, but I think he will be doubting them when he gets back and finds out his daughter is dead. Being happy for getting what he wanted, and if it will shake his faith, like I said, I think it will. I think Lagertha will be angry. I would be. But then again, I have to put myself back in that time period. And she might understand. It might take some time for her to understand, but she seems to be one of those people who said, if the gods will it, like, it's going to happen. So I think it'll take her some time to cope, but she will be able to get over it. I think it will, although I think it will affect their relationship. They seem to be very strong together, and it's always been just them, and it doesn't seem like that happens much in this time period. So I think she will be surprised that he did it, but it also seemed like she kind of knew, because she went to go to the prophet, or whatever you call that guy, that creepy looking guy, and she knew that he was in danger, and she said from himself, which I think she knew something was going to happen. I don't know if she knows that it was cheating on her or having a son with another woman, but we'll see. The next question is from Squashed Eyeball, And the question is, imagine that you, in current time, woke up one day and decided that you are going on a Viking-style raid, but you can only use Viking period equipment and can only sail by a longship. You can also take 3 characters of any media, books, TV, cinema, etc., to raid with you. Where/who would you raid? What/who would you still capture? And which 3 characters would you choose to aid you? So, 3 characters I would take with me. I automatically go to Game of Thrones since I have to use Viking-style equipment, and they, like, use swords and axes in that show also. So, I would take Tormund from Game of Thrones. He is amazing fighter, and I know he would be down for a raid, so I'd definitely take him. The second person I would take would be Khal Drogo, because that's one badass motherfucker, and if you saw that guy swinging a sword or an axe, or that shaped thing that they use, the Dothraki use, you would run away scared. And my third one might be Michonne from The Walking Dead, since she's very good with a sword, well, katana, but so she could definitely use some Viking-styled weapons and fuck some shit up. But she might not agree with raiding, so who knows, but those would definitely be my 3. As of what I would raid, honestly, probably a Funko Pop store, because I love those things. I would steal all of those. I don't think I would steal anyone. I'm not really that kind of person, but if I had to steal anyone, it'd be Tom Hiddleston. He's my favorite actor, so I would definitely capture him and make him my new best friend, but he probably wouldn't think of it that way. But yeah, so thank you so much for that awesome, interesting question, and who would you take for your raids? I also just want to put a disclaimer on my answers for those 3 characters. I haven't seen that many TV shows where there's a lot of fighting and styles. The only ones I've seen is The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones. Really, I'm just breaking into the world of like the Vikings and Black Sails and all that, so I'm super excited. So if my answers are not even close to what you would choose, I'm so sorry, but as of where I am right now, those are my answers. The next question is from Lars, and they asked, what do you think about Ragnar after watching season 1? I know the characters are not played out fully, but do you think Ragnar wanted the power and the burdens that comes with the title of an Earl, or do you think deep inside he just has a soul of a wanderer that wants to see and explore more of what is out there? So, I do not think he completely was power hungry and wanted the position of Earl, but I do believe he has a complex of wanting to be the best at what he does. He has a very, cocky aura about him. He thinks he's like the greatest thing to walk to earth. That is what I think. And with all his interactions with the king and with the guy who wants to steal the king's land, he just has this thing like, oh, you're blessed to be in my presence, blah, blah, blah. So I think he enjoys the title of the Earl, but I don't think he was after the title of the Earl. I think he just wanted to defeat the former Earl because he was threatening him. And I do think he has those visions that I still quite don't understand yet with the Raven, that I hope they go more deeply into in the further seasons. I do think he likes to explore, especially since he had this wanting to go the way no one else has gone in the ocean, and the sea. And yeah. Next question is from Brandon Norton, and they asked, how do you feel about the difference in religion between Athelstan and Ragnar? Do you think that will influence their friendship? As I said earlier, I think the biggest thing that's influencing their friendship at this point is the fact that Ragnar wanted to sacrifice him. I think he is going to not react well. We haven't seen interaction between them since, I don't believe, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with their first interaction when they talk to each other. I think the religion is more of a joke to Ragnar. It kind of irritates him. He hit a button, Athelstan, in one episode where Ragnar kind of snapped and like went after him and was like, eat your dinner in silence now. So I think it does irritate him slightly that he hasn't cracked from his Christian religion and turned to theirs. So I think he's trying to convert him, and he wants him to admit that his religion is wrong and his is right. But I don't think that will ruin their friendship. Like I said, I think the main thing that's ruining their friendship at this point is that he wanted to give him up as a human sacrifice. I mean, my God. Next question is from InSpeak Please. If I pronounced it wrong, I am so sorry. Who is your favorite character and why? My favorite character is Lagertha, mainly because she's a very strong, powerful female character, although someone did point out in the comments that there would not be shield maidens and they would not go on the raids and participate in the wars in real life. I still appreciate her character in the show, and I believe she is a strong central point to the show. Without Lagertha, Ragnar would not have the same dynamics as he does. He won't have the family aspect of doing it for not only him but his family, and it also shows a softer side to him. Even though he just cheated on her, it shows a softer side with him because you see him being the strong man in like the wars and the battles and upfront to most of the people he interacts with, but then you also see the character interaction between Lagertha and him when they're alone, and it's very adorable and cute, and I love them. But Lagertha is definitely my favorite. I love seeing her on screen, whatever she's doing. The actress is great. I do not actually know her name, if someone could comment that down below. I'd love to see her in other stuff. But yeah, Lagertha is my favorite character. Also, Mel's question, she asked, who is my top 3 favorite characters and why? So Lagertha's number 1. Number 2, I think, would be Floki. I enjoy his character. He's very fun, and he's very devout, and it's very interesting, his take on religion. I feel like he's the most into it, more than anyone else, especially since he's the one who snapped on Rollo that he got baptized. So Floki's very interesting to me. I love his little giggles when he's like killing people. It's so messed up, but I love him. And 3 has to be Ragnar. Although I'm very irritated with him at this point, I believe there could be worse things that he could do, so I'll get over it eventually. But obviously he's the main character of the show. He's greatly written. The actor portrays him well. So yeah, Ragnar's my 3. So, thank you so much for the questions. Anyone who submitted a question in the comments, I greatly appreciate it. I'll be doing another Q&A after I'm done with Season 2, so look out for that. And overall, I'm very excited to start Season 2 of the Vikings. I enjoyed the first season. It was the fastest show I've ever watched, and you guys have been saying this is the slower season, so I can't even imagine what Season 2 is going to be like, so I'm very excited to get into that. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you join me on my journey into Season 2, and see you next time.